Oh my goodness. Welcome back, everybody. What if I told you the reason you're not more visible isn't because you need another course, it's because you're trying to build momentum with tools that are designed to overwhelm you. And you're not inconsistent. You're just buried under everyone else's frameworks. And because no matter how many programs you've purchased, if you don't have something that is self honoring, that turns your ideas into daily action, you'll always feel stuck and unseen. So, today I'm breaking down how to shift from visibility confusion to visibility clarity without buying a single new module. So, most high achieving women that I work with, they're not invisible because they lack talent. Honestly, they're incredibly talented women, but they show up to me first invisible because their systems haven't caught up to their brilliance. So, if your visibility plan doesn't feel luxed, aligned, and honestly doable, like if it's not fun, it's not getting done, y'all, then you're relying on hype tactics that were never built for premium women. And that disconnect, well, let's be honest, that's where burnout lives. So I want us to shift something. Visibility isn't about output, it's about intentionality. And premium visibility doesn't come from another course. It comes from consistency, structure, and a plan that respects your time, energy, and standards. We're not over here on this like hustle train, y'all. I'm so against it. The idea of it makes me break out in hives. But we really want to be able to get our time, our energy, and live to the standards that we set for ourselves. Because your brand should feel like champagne clientele energy, not leftover discount fumes from someone else's strategy that worked for them in the moment. But let's be real. The digital landscape changes every single day, and it's probably outdated. So, we're going to break down three shifts that are going to help you stop hiding and start being seen. That first shift is visibility is a system, not a guessing game. So, your next shift is that your calendar is your brand strategy. It's what's keeping you paid. And consistency comes from containers, not willpower. So, let's turn your brilliance into daily, profitable visibility. So, if you wake up every day asking, "What should I post?" and you're sitting there scrolling for inspiration, second guessing your delay, and just sitting there like saying, "Oh gosh, I wish I could post something like that. That would be great." Then visibility starts to become a chore, and it's not a brand building moment. Matter of fact, you're just behaving like the masses, not like a business owner. And high caliber visibility comes from knowing exactly what to say, when to say it, and why it matters. And that requires structure, not guesswork. It's kind of like trying to host a dinner party without a menu. Of course, you're overwhelmed. Of course, you don't know what's coming next. So, we want to create an hour a day. We all have an hour a day to give up majority of the time. And that you can start to build a consistent content rhythm. So let me get a clean page here, y'all. I love that I'm always using purple and I can't figure out how to change the colors on this thing. If you know, please comment below because it's driving me nuts. Anywho, purple it is. So I developed this idea of having power hours. It actually came from when I worked at Nordstrom. I would make my team reach out to their first hour when they get to the floor. They had to do follow ups and they had to reach out to clients to book appointments because appointments really drove sales. Yes, we had people coming through the door, but if you had an entire shift where you had guaranteed money versus an entire shift of like hoping that enough people were going to walk through the front doors, you were more excited to come the days you knew people were going to buy from you, plus the people who were walking through the door. So I would make everybody do what I referred to as power hours when they first got in on their shifts. However, that has been adopted and changed since I have become a business owner and I moved some of those skills with me. So here is what a power hour looks like. So we're going to start with sales. And when we start with sales, we are going to focus on any dream clients that we might have. Okay. We are going to focus on anybody who is a referral for us. And I am so bad at spelling referral. So there might be two F's, there might be two R's. Who knows? Um, Referral clients, and then we're going to look at past clients. Past clients are the closest to the dollar because they already know what it's like to work with you. Dream clients might be the furthest away from the dollar because they're not quite sure yet and you've got to work with them. And referrals are also close to the dollar because people already trust them and therefore it's easier to trust you. So we try to get this done first. If we don't finish this, but we get to this that whole hour, awesome. You did good enough. Okay. Then we move into working on anything for our visibility. I should come with a warning. I'm not a good speller. I'm definitely amazing at math, and I'm a victim of having spell check and Grammarly. So, all right, visibility. So this is where we're going to do a variety of things. So we're going to reach out to be a podcast guest. It is one of the easiest forms of media that you can get. You can also then take those transcripts from being a guest and you can use them to write other long form content. But we're going to do that. We're going to find new collaborations. So people who can move into becoming a referral client. It could also look like getting on events or bundles if you're into that sort of thing. And then we are also going to have dream media because you know what? We've got to dream big. And if you're me, I would love to be in Girl Boss. I would love to be in Vogue Business. And I really would love to be in Cosmo, though, to be real with you, it's probably not the most aligned. I just always wanted to be. So we're going to focus on those things for visibility. Now, if we get this done within the hour and we still have some time, we move to visibility. We can block another more time here, but the idea is that we get started and we get started with the thing that is going to make us money. Money, 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 money. Cool, cool, cool. So then we do things that are going to get us visibility. They're close to the dollar, but they're not the dollar. So we're going to do that next. Then we are going to make time for our own thought leadership, our own thought directives. What sets us apart? So differentiation time. I don't know. There's so many things we can call this, but that is where we're actually going to work on building our content. We're going to go live if that's something we do. We are going to make a video like this one. We're going to get it done. But everything, and I mean everything, starts here because we deserve to get paid. Okay? And when we do this and we have that kind of content, that daily rhythm, we start to have small, consistent, and strategic change, and it will compound on itself. It always does. So, that is why I made this Champagne Clientele brand productivity planner, business planner. Woo! It's a mouthful, but it's awesome. So it gives you a visibility structure and not just blank boxes. So you wake up knowing exactly what needle to move in that way. And how I built this, and it's so funny. I'm really, really bad with my CRM. Like the the absolute worst because I have ADHD and I've got a trillion tabs open. And so I started writing it on paper. And then that was annoying because it took me a long time to write. So I was listening to somebody teaching me and I decided to design it at the same time. And I was printing those out. And I was like, and I was losing those papers. Again, ADHD. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a book. And I just put it all on the table and I popped what I had designed into a book and I added some other things that will help business owners like quarterly planning, some reflection sheets and other things. But majority of this book is made up of those power hour sheets. They look like this and it's really there to be that accountability partner. So when you start filling your calendar because you're constantly doing this outreach, I mean, my last 3 weeks have been wild. You are doing your visibility in your, not just in your leftover time, but in your intentional time. And when you're doing it in your leftover time, it's why it never compounds. So we become more intentional about blocking the time for this because premium women plan visibility the same way they plan revenue, intentionally. And we've got to get there as quick as possible so we can create the impact that we are destined to make. And let's be very transparent here. We live in capitalist societies. Majority of us do who are watching this video. So we need to be able to play the game at a high level, and that starts with making cash. So the same way that you wouldn't, that metaphor doesn't work today. We're going to throw that one away. The point is, we need more women with more money so we can start making better decisions that impact our communities. And we can't do that if we're playing small and helping everyone. We have to help ourselves, put that mask on first, and get those hours and that time clocked in, because you just cannot outsource your push-ups. So block an hour every 5 days a week to make time to get this done. That is how you compound. That is how you always have a full pipeline. And that is how your calendar can start to show you the data on what's making you money and what's not. So inside the planner, every month is mapped with premium visibility, prompts, checkpoints, allowing you to track your wins and what your intentions are for the week, and strategic clarity questions so you always know what direction you're building forward. Then our last shift, so consistency comes from containers, not willpower. If you think you're struggling with discipline, but really what you're struggling with is support and accountability. When women rise together, visibility becomes inevitable. We back each other up, we show up for each other, and we get it done. And so it's like working out. A beautiful gym is super nice, but a trainer in a squat can actually make you show up and get that done. And I definitely just said a trainer in a squat. Clearly, I have something on my brain. I meant to say a trainer in a squat. So if you have friends that you're doing it with and you have somebody who's leading the way, you're going to actually show up because you're excited to show up. And I think I said at the beginning of this video, if it's not fun, it's not getting done. So never try to build momentum alone, and audit where you need perspective, accountability, and community. And so that's why for the end of this year, the first 100 women who purchase this planner, and 4 have already been purchased at the time of this video, we are giving away a free year inside our Daily Dollar Collective. So it's normally $197 with beta pricing for next year. But what's going to happen in that Daily Dollar Collective is we're going to be using this planner, and we're going to have bi-weekly sessions to implement the planner. So we're going to do quarterly planning at the start of every quarter. We're going to have hot seats to help you refine messaging and fine tune and like really think about the places that you're showing up for visibility. And you're going to have a community of premium women who don't just play small. You're not just planning, you are truly becoming in this space. So if this shifted your visibility energy, then now is the moment. So go ahead, go grab the Champagne Clientele Brand Productivity Planner. It really is a mouthful, but SEO is a beezy. So it is your visibility engine. It's your clarity container. It is your structure for, I can only fit 6 months in this, or it's going to feel like an encyclopedia from our elementary school days. But the first 100 women to get into the Daily Dollar Collective, all of you are free for an entire year for that implementation and support. It is going to be high lift. It is going to be completely and amazingly epic. So if you're done collecting courses and you're ready to finally see consistent results, then this is going to be your season. And subscribe if you're building a brand that doesn't just chase attention, it commands it. I'm not going to lie to all of you. This is my secret to 25K months and higher. And it's simple, but it's consistent and it gets the job done. So like, subscribe, and all those fun things that my little one would tell me I have to tell you. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.